in an A
MK1
tier.
isn't doing fantastic though.
What
I agree.
online support is Third Strike getting?
But I'm just saying, like you're saying that they're doing fantastic. MK1's not doing fantastic.
It is. They just said it's in the best state it's been.
The bar is low. The game has been trashed for months.
He made the list off right now. I can't help he made the list off right now. If he would have made it 2 months ago, it would probably been a different story. Diafoam actually put out a list, and I should have it here on the screen. If I don't have it here on the screen, it was Evan's fault. He was supposed to edit it in. He basically did a tier list of the best fighting games of 2025, and his criteria was based on competition, online experience, ongoing support, gameplay, and casual appeal. Basically, in his S tier, he has Street Fighter 6 and Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Now, many people could probably go back and forth about Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, but we all know Diaphone, that's his game. So, what you want him to do? And out of all the anime fighters, it's the most popular and it's the one that's doing the best. So, what you want from him? A potential S, he thinks City of the Wolves is going to come out and do fantastic in all those areas. And A, he has Guilty Gear, Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, Under Night and Birth 2, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Virtual Fighter Revo. Now, I was kind of looking at Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and like, why are you putting that up there? As far as like the support that it's getting and stuff like that, it's not like Capcom is sitting here, supporting it a lot or anything like that. So I kind of looked at that one kind of weird, but the reason why he said he put Tekken 8 in A tier is just because he couldn't ignore everything that's happening with it right now with season 2 and stuff like that. So it's like he just didn't feel comfortable putting it in the S tier. A potential A, he has Hunter x Hunter Nin Impact, which is we'll discuss. And then he basically, I ain't gonna go through the whole list, y'all see it here, but he basically has other games and stuff like that on here, ranging from the collections, Dragon Ball Fighters, KOF 15, KOF 13 Global Match RP, Multiverses, and etc. So did y'all agree with his list? Do you feel like he might have been sipping on too much of that Grand Blue Fantasy versus Kool-Aid? Blase. So let's give our thoughts of what his tier list is for the current state of fighting games in 2025. Now, I don't know why he got Third Strike. See, I hate to do this. I hate to be the person that every time it seems like Third Strike come up, it's just like, do you got something positive to say? Not today. I don't know why he got it in A. Like, it's like this is the oldest game on this list, and you got all the way up there in A. I can understand it's like, okay, yeah, it might still have the fan engagement for an old game online. Okay, yeah, it might still have the casual appeal. For what y'all say, Justin Wong basically just came out and just said Evo Moment 37 blinded y'all. Like I've been told y'all before Evo Moment 37, y'all wasn't messing with that game. Be real, be honest. Let's just be honest about it, man. Y'all, I ain't doing it this week. I ain't gonna do it this week. Y'all know the real. But I gotta come and do this. I gotta seem like the hater every single week. I'm just keeping it factuals. I'm keeping it like a buck and a honey bun, bro. It just be honest. Just say Daigo did that parry and changed the whole multiverse. Like, let's just be honest. He basically Thanos snapped y'all mind and made Third Strike seem better than what it was. But anyway.
Third Strike, I don't know why Rexon has like this trying to drag down Third Strike. I think Third Strike is pretty good where it's at, man. I think I'm not sure.
Is this the old game hater saying this?
I'm just saying, man, no, because it's but we're basing this on the criteria that he's talking about, though, not about age. Like I'm working within the criteria that's been.
What ongoing support does Third Strike have?
I'm
sitting there telling me that that the online experience in the competition is equal to Tekken 8 or MK1 or Guilty Gear Strive. Why is this old game here? A 2025 list?
That's why it's not in an S. That's why it's not in an S. Because, of course, the casual appeal is there, right?
You've been
So
blinded
and the
like the rest
and
is.
the competition and
Dang, I feel
I
bad for
think
you.
I think the thing is like when some people get an idea in their heads, they just kind of like they just don't let it go. And then if they don't, people don't agree with them, they just get like really up in their feelings. So I'm gonna let that one
Now
go.
let the
But
man
like,
have put let the man have put Turbo up in here, knowing that they
yeah,
still got a solid fan base and all this stuff that you can name.
I would have
You
agreed
would have
with him
laid
if
an
he'd have
egg
put
on the
Turbo
screen.
there. I would agree with him because I'm working within the criteria that has been set for the list. Like you can't like just because your opinion of the game is low, my opinion of the game is low, has nothing to do with the fact that I think the game belongs right there. I would put Street Fighter 2 Turbo in
Only
probably
thing
an A
Third Strike
tier.
got in 2025 is you could argue casual appeal, but it's like up there with everything else in the same bracket as the other ones. It's not no A game. I would give you that in 2025 it is one of the most popular old games. I give you that. But at minimum, it's gonna reach a C or a D. My goodness, it came out what
No,
98?
no, dude. That's just
99?
that.
My goodness.
No, man. No. Like I think you're like what's called that is grossly overstated. Like that is crazy, man. Cuz like you're saying that it's be a C or a D, not even a B tier. That's crazy. Like I could maybe agree if you said okay, it belongs in B tier maybe, but to say it belongs lower than that is
It
crazy.
was a
And
Texas Showdown. It
like
was a
so
Texas Showdown.
So the competition is there, and we know the what's called the casual appeal is there because it's Street
Yeah, they're
Fighter.
gonna do that
And
because don't
all,
make don't
all I'll do,
don't
I just looked
don't
up most recent Third Strike tournaments, and it says Texas Showdown, Canada East Championships, Genesis X side tournaments.
how many
It's
entrants it had compared to the other games.
let's see. It's not showing entrance.
Bro, I'm telling
Okay,
y'all
so
blast.
tournament Texas Showdown, you had a prize of one grand and 70 players at Texas Showdown.
70 players at Texas Showdown, and y'all finna see and use that as an example of why it's a A tier game in 2025.
I
I will
mean,
wait,
give
what?
you. I will give
that's a
you
lot
that.
So
of
the
I will give you
criteria
that. Out of
of
all
the
the old
list.
games, that it probably would do the best right now. But I mean, who's to say if you do a Infinite tournament or you threw a UMVC 3 tournament, it wouldn't get the same amount. But still, I mean, yes, you have to give it respect for like, hey, it is doing good in the era of 2025. But we not finna sit here and compare it to the other games that are doing fantastic right now. The other games that are actually out in this prime right now. You putting it in A
MK1
tier?
isn't doing fantastic though.
I mean,
What
I agree.
online support is Third Strike getting?
Well, I'm just saying, like you're saying that they're doing fantastic. MK1's not doing fantastic.
It is. They just said it's in the best state it's been.
The
They
bar is
have.
low. The game has been trashed for months.
But he
I
made the
can't.
list off right now. I can't help he made the list off right now. If he would have made it
Yeah,
2 months ago, it'd have probably been a different story.
I'm just telling you, I'm not. I'm talking about what's called within the criteria of the list. Like you're talking,
I'm
like whether
asking
the
you
game,
on the criteria of the list, what ongoing support does Third Strike have? What
bro. I'm
level
telling
of
you,
competition
at
does it
least it
have
will be a
compared to the other
B.
games?
Yo, basically, if you have a lot of like what's called online competition, they didn't say competition at tournaments. He said online competition, online competition. That's people playing the game in their homes. You're not going to see how many people are playing online at their homes at Texas Showdown. That's not going to be an indicator of who's playing the game online.
Competition online experience is a different criteria for competition. Competition includes in person.
Yeah, but but you don't necessarily exclude all the people playing online then. So it's if you're going to combine all of it, then why do you just say, oh well, there are not a lot of people are playing a Texas Showdown? Well, that doesn't matter.
It had 156 at Frosty Faustings. I mean, that's a pretty good number for a game that old, I will say. But
You have to be
I
honest though.
don't think the numbers will match. I mean, I don't know what MK's numbers are right now, but I'm pretty sure it's much higher than 156. I have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we just gonna agree to disagree. But I mean, you wrong. But that's cool.
Usually people who say stuff like that know they're wrong and have to save face. So I'm gonna let you have that and let's move
I
on,
don't
please.
speak nothing but the gospel when it comes to y'all. Can say is hate all you
wouldn't
want.
have to, if you
Y'all
actually
can
did that,
say
you wouldn't
like
have to
this
say
man
that.
just got something against Third Strike all you want. Ain't nothing I'm saying that you can sit there and just be like, nah, that's just obvious bias.
Truth sayers just speak the truth. They don't need to say that they told you the truth. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, okay.
Now, Texas Showdown, Mortal Kombat only had 144 players.
Oh, we're gonna factor that in?
I mean that's a good. I mean, this game came out last year, and let me go back to how many CVS had. CVS had half of that, and this game came out decades ago. At the
I'm
same
not sitting
tournament.
there arguing that CVS should be on the list. It shouldn't be on the list.
Not CVS. Third Strike. I mean, I'm sorry if I said CVS. I mean Third Strike.
Look, all I'm saying is Third Strike is a game that came out in '98. I will give it this respect that it's doing fantastic compared to all the other games in the year of 2025. But to just base off this criteria, just for to sit here and say it's an A tier game, I just can't agree with that. I will say if you go put it on the list, I would give you C tier or D tier. But I'm just not finna put it up there. Anything I just can't seem to. It's not getting any higher than a C tier for me. I mean, you got to give it respect that it's pulling in all these numbers and stuff like that at these different tournaments. I mean, you just have to give it its respect. If any old game is going to be on the list, it's going to be Third Strike. But I'm not sitting here. You go sit here and literally put it in the same rank as Guilty Gear Strive, Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat 1, and Virtual Fighter Revo. I mean, come on now. Like you
Now that
just
goes
look.
back to what I said. The MK1 shouldn't have been in A tier though. That's
I give
what
you
I
if you
said.
want to put MK1 in B tier, I give you that. But still,
I
you
think
got
maybe C
Tekken
tier.
8 and Guilty Gear in that same rank. You go literally put Third Strike up there with that?
Hey, it was his list, so that's why I was looking at it kind of like MK1. Me personally, I couldn't put MK1 higher than B. That's me personally.
I mean, and
I
then
would put
just
Third Strike at least a B, probably.
Third Strike is a tier lower than Street Fighter 6. Come on now. Come on now.
I mean, like
I
it's
think
not
B is fair.
necessarily like if you're looking at it like, oh well, this tier and this tier, I guess, but it's like we're doing it based on criteria. Like, I mean,
You
you're
say what
sticking
is
to the
fair,
criteria.
Devin?
I think B is fair for Third Strike.
B for
I
real.
move. I'd move MK1 and Third Strike into B tier.
B as in B for
'Cause
real.
I mean, no, bro, you got this game that's like 20, 30 something years old, got half the interest of a game that came out last year. I think that says something. Like
a game that was a game that everybody agreed would came out as a total flop. You've talked about how bad it was.
But I'm saying, like we just said it, they say the game's in the best spot that it's in right now. So shouldn't them numbers to me should be higher than that. I mean, it should be 144 for MK1. That is pitiful. That's pitiful, man.
All the reasons that you've laid out in the past, like that nobody can disagree with. I mean, come on now. If a game come out and just be dung, and we say like, oh man, you doing about as good as, I mean, my goodness, how many games have come out recently that we could just like, man, that game came out trash. And we could sit here and probably be like, yeah, it probably had the same numbers as like Third Strike at a tournament. You'd agree with that. Like, Multiverses came out, and if they ran a tournament for Multiverse, how many people you think will join?
Hopefully, no one will.
Probably less than Third Strike right now, depending on what tournament you at. So, I mean, what is that saying that a bad game ain't getting as good as Third Strike?
Well, let's say Texas Showdown Street Fighter got 285. So I guess if we want to quantify this, let's say if he's saying that Street Fighter 6 is S tier, he got 285. Then I guess 144 is kind of A B rank, I guess, for numbers. And I guess if you say 70 would be like low B or C, maybe. I guess if you want to quantify
I
like
can't
that.
respond to that, Devin, because for me to respond to that, like you would have to start saying stuff about like, okay, like, see, I can't even say it. Like, I'm just not I'm not gonna say anything that seems like it's anywhere towards disrespect to these tournaments because I'm just not gonna do it. But like,
I mean,
it's
a major tournament.
You're right. Texas Showdown is an amazing tournament that is thrown in Texas yearly in Houston, Texas area. I make sure that y'all next year, if you hadn't gone, make sure you go support that and experience that. And that's all I got to say about that. But I'm just saying, like, see, Devin know how to say sentences that every week I'm just like, see, that's bait. That's bait.
Bruh, it's not bait. I'm just
because it's like I want to prove my point, but to prove a point, it would make it sound like, it's kind of like how Stephen A. Smith doing right now. Like, we all know that LeBron James is the second option on his team right now. But this man, Stephen A. gonna go out and do a list and say the best Robins in the NBA and put LeBron as number one. Now, you coming out and saying LeBron is a Robin, it's just disrespect no matter which way you put it. I don't care if you say, well, the technical definition is just the second option on the team. To say LeBron James is a Robin is disrespect no matter what, no matter how you try to come out and say, I'm saying as respectful as possible. It's like a team having Daigo on it, and then but Punk on it too, and then you just coming out saying like, yeah, Daigo to Robin Batman, to Punk's Batman. That's disrespect. I don't care no matter which way you try to say it. To say Daigo is a Robin, that it's just disrespect. So I can't disrespect none of these tournaments. But Devin know how to bait people.
I'm just going to look at the numbers. So this is the last thing I'll say. MK1 Frosty Fawcett 2025. You know how many players? 81. You know how many players had when third strike for Frosty Fawcett's? Let me look at the numbers. 150.
Is a tournament though that's known for old school stuff. That's why they have 3 million games at it though.
But I mean,
it's known for that.
That's true. But most tournaments still the big. Let's see what Street Fighter 6 had at Frosty Fawcett's because that's a big game. That's recent, right? So let's look at Street Fighter 6. If I'm correct, 700 players. So
some of these tournaments not good examples, bro. You got to start saying like Combo Breaker. You got to start saying CEO. You got to start saying UFA. You got to start.
Sounds like.
I mean, I'm just looking at the most recent,
sir.
The most recent events. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the most recent events.
Yeah, 2025, which is what we're talking about.
We're talking about right now. This list was 2025.
Devin just sitting there playing devil's advocate, throwing around like, man, I can see every side. Like, I see
looking at the numbers.
I see the other. Like, Devin, which one is it?
I'm just looking at the numbers. Street Fighter for CEO was 600 players.
Okay, well, let's look at the numbers. If we got A tier and we got B tier, Street Fighter 6 is A tier. Are we saying that Third Strike goes below Street Fighter 6?
You know how many players CEO have for MK1? 114. Let's see how many they have for Third Strike.
You keep bringing up MK1. It was a bad game.
But I'm saying it's still to me not that great of a game.
It's ever been.
Why don't you look up?
People have said that.
Look up Street Fighter 6 numbers and tell me if it should go right below Street Fighter 6. Look up Tekken 8 numbers and tell me if it belongs in the same category as Tekken 8. Look up Guilty Gear Strive numbers and tell me if it belongs in the same category as Guilty Gear Strive.
Well, here's the thing, but you can't just base it off of that anyway because that's not the only criteria.
Keep saying MK1.
I'm just saying that's a very telling thing though of how many people are like entering or playing. That's part of it. That's why I said put Third Strike at B.
But see, that's why my thing with MK1 is MK1. I'm sure MK1 for him is literally an A because it probably would be hard for him to come out and just put MK as anything lower because it might seem like disrespect, especially that they're coming out right now and that people are saying it's in the best state possible. Like, so it's one of the top 3 fighting games of all time, franchises of all time, and it's doing better right now. So he probably went ahead and put it in an A out of like respect. But realistically, we all know if you were to accurately rank MK1. In my opinion, it would. If you put it at a C, I wouldn't be mad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think MK1 should be.
That's why I say That's why I say if you keep using MK1 as the measuring stick, then you basically saying like it belongs somewhere around MK1, which is like a C at max.
Yeah.
So it don't belong in A.
Well, I mean, like,
MK1
just
doesn't belong A to me personally. But if you look at the numbers that Third Strike being so old is still pulling, I think that's to me, I feel like that's comparable.
If it's comparable to MK1, then it belongs in C.
I put it at B, personally. Because you just gotta think about a game that old still being supported this long, and that many people still playing it over a game that's not even barely 2 years old. Like that sells a lot. That's just me.
I understand. You know what?
This
debate has been so long. This could definitely be a separate video.
This is a big 3 game. This is a big 3 game, and it's so hotcakes, right? Numbers wise. But we're talking about like the active player base and what's going on with that's what I'm looking at. Mortal Kombat is a household name. Street Fighter is also. Third Strike is in that. It's like Street Fighter 6 right now is like that big one. But we talking about a big name, big 3. Which for some reason people don't think MK is a big 3, which I don't understand that. It just baffles my mind.
Yes, definitely. MK1 is a big name. It's a big game. But I'm gonna ask you these questions, Devin. One, has the game been hot cheeks up until now?
Yes, and I still think it's just okay. It's like
okay, so we know that even if a top tier game comes out and it's a top tier name, if it's hot cheeks, it's gonna fall. We see that with Tekken 8. People might argue that Tekken 8 should be an S because it's Tekken, but it's like it had to get dropped because it's in a bad state. So MK1 had to be dropped, or we know it's gonna be dropped because it's in a bad state. So I feel like continuing to use MK1 because it's a big name. It doesn't matter if you're a big name or not. Even Street Fighter 5, if we was to rank Street Fighter 5 at the time that it came out, yes, Street Fighter is a big name, but you could not in good honesty put Street Fighter 5 at that time anything above. And if you was trying hard, you could only do max C tier.
Yeah, but context.
So I just feel like to keep
matters,
just bringing up the MK1 is not a great comparison.
Like the ending.
Context matters though. Context matters though.
It was.
Yeah, because I mean, like you could say that. I mean, like if you were to say what MK1 was when it came out, it definitely would be. You'd be able to say it's a solid A, you know. But like, I mean, the game's been out for a while. Like, I mean, same thing with Street Fighter 5. Yeah, you could say the reverse about Street Fighter 5. Like you could say, yeah, that's like a solid C tier. But after it'd been out for a while, you'd have got like a couple of patches. Yeah, you could say at least like what, high B or A tier, you know? So I think context matters. And in this case, you're talking about like, well, yeah, it doesn't get as much. It's getting around the same as a MK1. But MK1, like Devin said, that game has been out for a while, and they've had numerous chances to to fix it, and they're just now fixing it. And Third Strike has pretty much been the way it's been for like a long time. You know, I mean, you know, and like it may not have like the online support necessarily, but I mean, like I said, based on casual appeal alone, it's pretty good. And plus the actual competition, like I said, it's like not necessarily. I mean, based on the numbers, it's still pretty good. So I don't know why you could just throw it in a C tier, considering that like it's still pretty strong in 2 out of 3 areas.